Let me start by saying that I've been waiting for the Unliving ever since it was announced. Necromancer slash Summoner is one of my favorite types of classes to play in most video games, but so many video games just end up doing it wrong, you know? The Unliving manages to capture the very essence of being a Necromancer by having hundreds of units to control and just an army of undead to decimate your enemies. But while the art direction and the core concept of this game are fantastic, everything else is lacking. Your units and summons are really stupid, often getting caught on the terrain or each other. Sometimes they just bug out entirely and just stop moving or attacking altogether, allowing the enemies to pummel me to death. Despite these bugs, the core gameplay is actually quite solid, but the funny thing is that I would actually prefer this exact same game, just not as a roguelike. Don't take this the wrong way, I love roguelike games, but most roguelikes that I enjoy are ones where the run is just super duper addicting and fun, or through every death, I end up earning more experience and leveling up. The point that I'm getting at is that I think the Unliving would be a much more solid experience just as a single player RPG. But anyways, this is a roguelike, so let me talk about my problems with it. So the basic premise is that when you die at the end of a run, you get points based on how many units you summoned during that session. Those points are then spent at the hub to slowly unlock additional abilities, but these abilities aren't permanent upgrades that are contributing to your overall character. These are just new items that can be found in the loot pool during your next session, which to me defeats the entire purpose of a roguelike. Where's my permanent upgrades? Where is the sense of progression? Why do I not feel like I'm getting any stronger? Without having these elements, it doesn't matter how fun the play session is, it still doesn't feel like I'm actually gaining anything by doing it. Look, I'm not saying that the Unliving doesn't have progression, it's just that it does a terrible job explaining it to the player and you get it way too slowly. Like, there's multiple currencies that you can earn in various ways, but it's often extremely unclear how you actually earn each of them. Half the time the description is just, this currency is used to unlock these upgrades. Okay, where do I get the currency though? One of the worst descriptions is whenever you're trying to unlock a new skill, the description will just be like, stuns enemies. And it's like, I have no idea what is stunning enemies. Like, is this an upgrade to my basic attack or what? Most roguelikes end up presenting you with a random generated world, but I've actually been finding that I'm repeating the map over and over and over again. And although I've gotten to the second area in the game a handful of times, I don't feel like I earned it in any way. It was just that run I happened to be luckier or take less damage or something. It most certainly doesn't feel like the game is getting any easier the longer I play it. And most of the time when I die, I have no idea what killed me. It's a damn shame, dude. Like, I'm really disappointed with this title. Like, I think controlling your units, the concept of that is okay so long as they can fix the bugs. The graphics are stupendous, and the idea of what this game is great, but the execution just is not what I was expecting. Like, as I'm going through runs over and over and earning currency, my skeletal minions should be getting stronger. Like, they should keep getting more and more armor on them, or keep getting like stronger attacks or something like that. I haven't even brought up the fact that all of the upgrades that you do give to your skeletal minions, not only are they just random drops that you can end up getting on your run, but once you get to the second area in the game, all of your units no longer become skeletons and actually become merfolk instead. Meaning that every single upgrade that you had for your skeletons suddenly becomes pointless, which just reinforces the idea that I should slowly be earning progression towards my skeletons in the first area until I eventually am a god and unstoppable, so that once I get to the second area, the gameplay loop continues where I am now trying to upgrade my new set of units. That is all this game needed to be, but instead it mucks it all up. So for an end synopsis, I'm going to give this game a 2 out of 5 and say that the graphics are great, the gameplay is solid so long as they can remove all of the bugs, but unfortunately I don't think that my personal issues with this game are going to be resolved after early access, because it is the core fundamental progression system or lack of progression system that I have a problem with, and that's not something that they can just add to this game overnight. It's something that they needed to have developed from day one. But that's just my opinion, and the developers are clearly designing a game for a different type of audience. However, the mixed reviews that I'm seeing on Steam leads me to believe that a lot of other people feel my discontent. I also wanted to acknowledge that I've gotten pretty heated in today's review, but you gotta understand that it's coming out of a place of love. I love being a Necromancer, and I love what this game could have been. So hopefully that makes my opinion more clear.